Alright, bro, what is up? Obviously, you clicked on this video because of the title, and I was reading some scripture, right? Oh my gosh, I gotta chill. I was reading some scripture, right? And I came by a verse in Romans that hit me so hard, so I'm just gonna read it, and I think this will help you, okay? So it's Romans chapter 4, verse 18. Even when there was no reason for hope, Abraham kept hoping, believing that he would become the father of many nations. Now you're probably like, wait, what does that even mean? So if you don't know Abraham, basically Abraham was the first man to walk in faith and be claimed as righteous by God. And he was also claimed as a spiritual father because of that in many nations, like the verse was saying. Abraham had a wife named Sarah. She was also 90 to 100-ish years old. They were trying to have a kid for the longest time. Obviously, they're 90 to 100 and they still didn't have a kid. But they continuously tried and tried and tried, but they just couldn't figure it out. It just was not working for them. But the reason they continuously tried and tried and tried is because God made a promise to them that they would. Not only that, but they also remained optimistic because they had such strong faith in the Lord. So that's why they continuously tried. And they didn't blame their circumstances. They could have said, yeah, we're too old. We could just give up right now. No, they continuously tried because they had such strong faith in the Lord and he made a promise to them. A quick side note, Abraham is a perfect example of how we should live because no matter what happened, he still walked in faith. He was claimed as righteous because he was so faithful towards the Lord, and that is what we need to do always. Okay, so with all this being said, it really hit me hard because when I was trying to get in shape for the first time, I would get extremely discouraged. I was saying, oh yeah, like the gym that I go to isn't all that. It's not even all that nice. It just has the essentials, cables, Smith machine, squat rack, dumbbells, adjustable benches, whatever, right? Not that nice. I could have blamed my circumstances. I could have said, yeah, the gym just isn't nice. I don't really have a nice gym to go to, or I don't have a food scale, or I don't know how to track my macros, or I don't know how to track my lifts. I don't know what exercises to do. Or maybe when I was trying to strengthen my relationship with the Lord for the first time, I could have said, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I don't have the time to take notes in the morning, or because I got to work, or whatever the excuse was. I would try to look for an excuse to opt out because I felt discouraged because I wasn't making the progress that I wanted. And that is a problem because I was a victim to my circumstance. When you're a victim to your circumstance, then you can just accept that you're going to settle with being average, because the people that are successful, that succeed in anything in life, they take advantage of what they currently have and they use it and they remain optimistic and they tell themselves, I will achieve this goal no matter what. I will, like Abraham and Sarah, they said, I will have children and I will continuously try because God made a promise to me and I will remain faithful to him. When you're feeling like you're in complete despair, like there's no hope, then you need to anchor yourself to something deeper than just your current feelings and your reality. Now for me, I notice that I feel in complete despair or discouraged or I want to give up when I'm doing things for my own selfish desires. But when I anchor it to something deeper, whether it's achieving my goals for my future wife, my future kids, my family, my friends, or even my future self, I want to remain faithful to my future self because I am always making a promise that I will achieve my goals. I always write out my goals. I always speak it into existence, basically. Like, I will, or I am this. I have achieved this, or thank you for achieving this, Ben. And because I've done that, I have to remain faithful to myself. And then also, I have to remain faithful to my family or my future wife because I want to show up as the best version of myself. And so you're going to get discouraged or you're going to lose hope. But if you fall into that trap and you allow yourself to do that, then you're not only are you letting yourself down, but you're also letting your family down or your future wife or your kids or whoever you're going to anchor it to. Here's the thing. Abraham and Sarah continuously tried and tried and tried, like I was saying, and they did eventually have a kid. They did, and they were like 90 to 100 years old. They could have and should have given up at like 30 or 40 something, like most people would, and just accept it. But because God made the promise, they're like, we got to keep trying, we got to keep trying. We're going to keep doing it, even if all odds are against us. When you feel like all odds are against you, that is your green light to keep on going, because that's where all people will give up. But that's normally when you will have the breakthrough. I can't even tell you how many days I feel like I want to give up, or I get discouraged, or I question if it's even worth it, or if I am in complete despair. Here's the thing is, like, the gym is the only thing I've ever had that actually keeps me going. Every day in the past, like before I started working on my personal development, before I realized like I need to understand my own mind, because it doesn't matter how good of shape you are in. If you can't learn to conquer your own mind, you're always going to feel like there's something missing. And that's how it was for me. And because I didn't understand my own mind, or I would have one negative thought and it would spiral into more negative thoughts and I'd just lose all hope. I wanted to give up, but I knew that if I give up, I'm only going to lose myself. And so anytime I felt like I was lost or in despair, I would just go to the gym, because that is the one thing that always made me feel better. But it's also the one thing that actually allowed me to have hope and remain faithful to myself, because I would see the progress that I was making in the gym, and I'm like, if I can do this, I can do anything. If I can just show up for myself here, then why can't I succeed in other areas of life? And so when I was trying to get in shape for the first time, or try to grow my relationship with the Lord, I wanted to give up. I didn't want to continuously put in the effort. It was uncomfortable, and when you don't see progress, you know how discouraging that is. But because I told myself, and I made a promise to myself, that I would achieve my goals and I will figure it out. And I can't, when I feel like I do want to give up, there are times where I think of my past self, whether I was just a little kid, and I would tell myself that, I want to be so successful one day in every area of life. I just think about that version of me, and I'm like, I can't let him down. I can't let him down, and I can't just be a bum. I can't go throughout life being out of shape and not having strong relationships, whether it's with friends, family, the Lord, or I can't live life not understanding my own mind. It's like, I'm not willing to accept that. I chose, and I have decided that I will achieve my goals. And now, every single day, I have reframed everything to a positive experience. So anytime I'm feeling down, I'm like, this is good. I tell myself that hope isn't ignoring pain, it's believing that there's purpose in it. Because when you are experiencing pain or suffering, you just have to tell yourself that there's a reason for this and you're going to grow from this. There's a reason for it, because I know that I actually took something from it. And Abraham and Sarah did the exact same thing. Again, they kept trying. They couldn't figure it out, but eventually they just did it, because God made a promise and they just continuously showed up. So last thing I do want to say is that if I didn't remain optimistic, and I fell into the trap of, I feel sorry for myself, or this just isn't working out for me, I guess this just isn't for me, there's no hope anymore. If I did that, I would never be where I'm at today. Now I've gotten to the point where I've personal developed so much. I understand fitness and nutrition, the principles behind it. I understand my own mind. I understand how to strengthen my relationship with the Lord. And I understand how to continuously level up, structure my days so that each and every day I'm moving the needle and getting better. And now it's gotten to the point that I teach other men how to do that. And that is one of the most fulfilling things, is that because there was days that I wanted to give up, I continuously pushed through, and now I can thank that version of me. I thank my past self every single day. I'm like, thank you so much, Ben, for showing up, because I would never feel fulfilled. I would never feel confident in myself. I would never have that actual breakthrough that I was always seeking. So I'm telling you, bro, you will have the breakthrough. When you feel like you're in complete despair, there is no hope, anchor it to something that is deeper than just how you currently feel. Understand that hope isn't ignoring the pain. It's believing that there's purpose behind it. And you just have to remain faithful to yourself and continuously push through when all odds are against you. All right, obviously it's easier to say that and just, than to actually do it. But when you do continuously push through, bro, I'm telling you, you're going to have that breakthrough, and you're going to be so grateful, you're going to feel so fulfilled, and you're going to be like, let's go. And you're going to be hungry for more and more and more, and you're going to truly see what's possible. So that's all I got for you. I hope you actually can take something from this. If you took notes, that's great. It's normally what you should do, because when you actually write it down and you actually look at it and you hear me speak about it, you look at it and then you actually apply it, that's when you're going to begin to see results. So that's all I got for you. If you want more value like this, check out more of my YouTube videos. I kind of just speak a lot about mindset, especially because, like I said, you can be in good shape, hit your macros, but if you can't learn to conquer your own mind, then you're cooked. You're always going to feel like something's missing, and you're never going to truly feel like the version of you strive to become. So, mindset is everything. Learn to conquer it, and you'll be unstoppable.